Namaste, this is Samta Auntie. In this video, we're going to review fruit vocabulary that you learned in class. We're going to review the Hindi words for pumpkin, cantaloupe, and apricot. Pumpkin is kaddu, kaddu. Cantaloupe, kharbuja, kharbuja. And apricot, kubani, kubani. Notice that kharbuja and kubani are both tricky H words. So if they're not garbuja and kubani, it's kharbuja, kubani. You have to remember to enunciate the H sound next to the K. Let's try those again. Pumpkin, kaddu. Cantaloupe, kharbuja. Apricot, kubani. Now let's do some practice problems. Here we have the cantaloupe swimming with whales. How do we say cantaloupe in Hindi? Kaddu, kharbuja, or kubani? Kharbuja. Here we have a skiing apricot. How do we say apricot in Hindi? Kaddu, kharbuja, kubani. Kubani. The princess's pumpkin carriage has arrived. How do we say pumpkin in Hindi? Is it kaddu, kharbuja, or kubani? Kaddu. Here we have a cantaloupe mechanic. How do we say cantaloupe in Hindi? Is it kaddu, kharbuja, or kubani? Kharbuja. Here we have some beach pumpkins playing in the sand and making sandcastles. How do we say pumpkin in Hindi? Kaddu, kharbuja, or kubani? Kaddu. This is a nice pumpkin house. What's pumpkin again? Kaddu, kharbuja, or kubani? Kaddu. We have Chef Cantaloupe. How do we say cantaloupe in Hindi? Kaddu, kharbuja, or kubani? Kharbuja. Here we have a circus apricot. How do we say apricot in Hindi? Kaddu, kharbuja, kubani? Kubani. Look at these cute pumpkins. What was pumpkin again in Hindi? Kaddu, kharbuja, or kubani? Kaddu. And here we have cantaloupe emoji. How do we say cantaloupe again? Is it kaddu, kharbuja, or kubani? Kharbuja. Here we have a pirate apricot looking for treasure. How do we say apricot in Hindi? Is it kaddu, kharbuja, or kubani? Kubani. Here we have Ram Cantaloupe because he's an archer. He's shooting an arrow. How do we say cantaloupe in Hindi again? Is it kaddu, kharbuja, or kubani? Kharbuja. Uh-oh, the apricot is not feeling good. How do we say apricot in Hindi? Kaddu, kharbuja, or kubani? Kubani. Look at this cute pumpkin family. What was pumpkin again in Hindi? Kaddu, kharbuja, or kubani? Kaddu. This pirate's looking for whales and treasure. How do we say apricot in Hindi? Is it kaddu, kharbuja, or kubani? Kubani. All right, now that you've had a chance to do several practice problems, let's test your memory so these next practice problems won't have any words for you to see. So, here we have the princess's pumpkin carriage coming to pick her up. What was pumpkin in Hindi again? I hope you said kaddu. Here we have cute cantaloupe emoji. What was cantaloupe again in Hindi? I hope you said kharbuja. And here we have a skiing apricot. How do we say apricot in Hindi? Kubani. And here we have a cantaloupe swimming with whales. What was cantaloupe again in Hindi? Kharbuja. Here we have beach pumpkins. What was pumpkin in Hindi? Kaddu. And uh-oh, we have a sick apricot. What was apricot in Hindi? Kubani. And here we have Chef Cantaloupe making his pizza. How do we say cantaloupe in Hindi again? Kharbuja. And this cute pumpkin house, what was pumpkin again? Gaddu. And the circus apricot rolling around on its unicycle, what was apricot in Hindi again? Kubani. And here we have a cantaloupe mechanic fixing cars and motorcycles. How do we say cantaloupe in Hindi? Kharbuja. And here we have some cute pumpkins. How do we say pumpkin in Hindi? Gaddu. And here we have a pirate apricot looking for treasure. What was apricot in Hindi? Kubani. And here we have that ram cantaloupe, the archery cantaloupe. What was cantaloupe again? Kharbuja. And we had that pumpkin family that was so cute. What was pumpkin in Hindi? Gaddu. And here we have another pirate, but this one's looking for whales and treasure. And he's an apricot pirate. So how do we say apricot in Hindi? Kubani. All right, let's review these 3 fruits and vegetables one more time. Pumpkin is gaddu. Cantaloupe is kharbuja. And apricot is kubani. Awesome job! I hope you had fun with this, and now you know 3 more fruits and vegetables in Hindi. Dhanyavad for joining me. I'll see you in class.